So I don't know like why I turned the camera on, but I'm currently feeling widespread like anxiety. And I'm low-key unable to be productive because I'm currently feeling the stress of like life right now. So I thought I would go into things that are currently making me anxious because that sounds like a fun time. But yeah, I'll just like upload this straight. We're not here to edit anything. But basically I just spent the last like hour looking up graduate programs in Minnesota and San Diego, just because those are the two places where I would probably see myself going to graduate school in. And I'm like, for some reason, very overwhelmed with this prospect that I'm not good enough and that I haven't proved myself and that I'm not deserving, which I honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm always okay with like my abilities and like I'm like, yeah, I'm smart, you know. Haven't proved it in the last like decade, but I'm smart and like I go for opportunities and I am like somewhat driven, but like looking at all the requirements for graduate school, I'm like getting kind of overwhelmed. And it's not stuff that I like didn't know about. It's like I've always known, like, you know, you need letters of recommendation, you need to take the GRE. Some places don't even require it. And like if you have below a 3.0, you have to, you know, supplement it in some way or like have a conversation about what you need to do, which is something that I definitely need to do. But I don't know, I feel like I'm overwhelmed and I thought I would kind of see more people in the same boat as me, but I definitely don't, where undergrad was kind of a shit show in terms of, you know, school. My mental health was like the worst when I was in college, and I don't know, it's weird because I think I like the idea of school, but in practice it just doesn't work very well for me. But it's like what I need to do in order to move forward in my career. So I'm like kind of getting anxious about that. And then what else can I say? My GRE is next week and I'm consistently getting the same score, which like I guess is good, but at the same time I feel like come test day I'm just going to do absolutely horrible, and I think I'm just like developing that anxiety right now because I'm like a week out. So I don't know. I've kind of just been like supplementing that anxiety with, you know, makeup and caring more about, you know, my online presence, like social media, or like talking to people rather than like really focusing. Because I think I'm like procrastinating on like fixing it or like figuring it out because I'm afraid that like I'm just going to delve deeper into my anxiety. So I decided to make this video instead, you know. What are you gonna do besides procrastinate more? But I thought maybe this would help me identify things a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, Lorna, you can do it. And I was like, but you don't know. You don't know what's really going on. Like, sure, I'll do practice test after practice test, but what is that really doing? Like, am I actually studying efficiently? Probably not. Am I actually retaining any of the information that I'm absorbing? Like, probably not. So it's just like I'm kind of going through this motion of like studying because I think that that's what people kind of expect of me. That's kind of what I expect out of myself, but I'm not like, I feel like I'm not actually learning anything. I learned a lot of words. Don't get me wrong. I've learned so many words, but excuse me. But who knows? Anyway, if this video is supposed to be anything, it's just to show that everyday people have anxiety, like about the future, about what they're really doing in life, whether they're good enough. I don't know. I think like I need to deal with a lot of my past trauma. I don't know if any of you guys were like this, but I was like smart when I was younger. Like I was considered like gifted and, math was easy and I could basically get A's without even trying. And then I hit high school and then it's like, well, obviously you're learning a lot of new information that your previous information has no basis in. So it's like, what are you going to do then? You have to study. And like, I don't think I ever learned how to effectively study. I don't think I ever learned how to be extremely disciplined in an area, even if I'm passionate about it, because that stuff always came naturally to me. And now I think I'm like learning to accept it. And I know I shouldn't accept it, but it's just, I'm like, maybe this is just me. Oh my gosh. And, this pisses me off so much because, like, I know I attribute a lot of my shortcomings and, like, a lot of my personal issues with depression and, like, I didn't get up and I didn't do any work because I'm depressed, And honestly, that is a huge part of it. But also, like, what's been difficult for me is, like, knowing where the depression ends and where my actual personal laziness begins, So, like, sometimes I'll lay in bed. I'll lay in bed for hours and hours and hours and I just can't get up. And I'm like, how much of this is, my brain is, like, just like, no, this is not what you're going to do. And how much of this is like my brain being like, you don't want to do the work because it's work and work sucks, I think that's just going to be a constant internal struggle for me. I think I just need to go see a therapist. I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long. If you guys know me, I've been like putting it off for 3 years. Like, I went to a therapist. It was great. I got my cry on. And then what do? I don't go again because lazy. And honestly, this is just turning into a rant. Honestly, the whole fucking process to, like, get, treatment for mental health issues is so, it's not complex, but it's very involved. You have to have insurance. You have to go through your insurance to find a provider. You have to communicate with them, see what's covered. You have to, sit down with that person, see if they're the right fit. If they're not the right fit, it's like, wow, you got to do that process over again, So that's me. I haven't posted a video in a long time just because I have just been thinking about what I would want to post. And currently, outside is like a winter wonderland. It's so cold. It's so snowy. And I'm ready to go back to San Diego. But, like when you're like fixated on something and you're like, this thing, I just have to get over this hurdle. And once I get over this hurdle, it's going to be smooth sailing. And I'm just like, I got to finish the GRE and then it's smooth sailing. I'm like, that should be fine. But I don't know, like, how much of it, because then I think, okay, well, then after that, I'm going to have to, like, you know, find a job. Another job. I'm going to have to find another job. I'm going to have to apply to grad school. And, like, if that's anything like college admissions, it's going to be the worst thing in the whole world. That's an exaggeration. I don't think having the opportunity to apply to graduate school is the worst thing that could be happening in the world. But it's just like in my small sphere of difficulties, this is a big old chunk of it. I don't know how to do analogies. Anyway, that's me. That's a life update. My nails look okay. They're growing out, which is good. Anyway, if you guys want like another makeup video or a mukbang, or life updates, let me know. I said I was gonna I have some video ideas. It's just by the time I finish my GRE, everyone's gonna be in this house, and if everyone's in this house, I don't want to film because that's embarrassing. Anyway, okay, goodbye. Love you guys.